Happy Wednesday, everybody. Kamari Ellis here with another edition of the Finance Rebel Show. Y'all know every Wednesday is Wealthy Wednesdays. And so we talk about money on Wednesdays. And today, our main topic of the day will be Tesla versus Ford. To be exact, Tesla stock versus Ford stock. Which one's better? Which one's better? See what's going on with both of them. So let's see. I think I might be having some problems with one of my broadcasts, one of my destinations. Sounds like I'm having a problem with great. Looks like I'm having a problem on Facebook as usual. They're always giving me grief. Grief. So let's see. Can I redo this? Let's see here. The Facebook. All right. Looks like we're live on Facebook too. All right. So Facebook's giving me a little bit of love. What's up, Coach? Coach CBD. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Listen, for everybody that's just joining, this is the Finance Rebel Show. I'm Kamari Ellis. We do this every week, every Wednesday, where I talk about money. Today's main topic is Tesla versus Ford. Ford versus Tesla. What stock is better? Y'all put that in the chat for me. Let me know which stock is better. TB, how you doing? Welcome. All right, so just letting everybody come in. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to let folks come in, fill up the pews in the church, and then we will begin the show. But tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about Ford versus Tesla. Also, then going to be talking about more Elon Musk. To be exact, does Elon Musk have enough money to feed the entire world? And I got a question for y'all. So I need everybody's help on this question. When you go out to dinner with a group of friends, how do y'all handle the bill? All right. That is the question of tonight. When you go out with a group of friends, how do you handle the bill? Does everybody split the bill evenly? Or do you just pay for your meal, your drink? You itemize what you buy or what you pay for. So I'm really curious to see what everybody likes to do when they go out to eat. Now, I have my standard. I'm not going to tell y'all what my standard is, but I have my standard of what I do when I go out with my friends, and we all kind of follow suit because I come from a group of guys who we basically grew up together with. So it can go either way. All right. So I'm seeing some questions coming in. We'll definitely come back to that, but let me add that in real quick as everybody gets in here. How do you handle the bill? How do you handle the bill and going out with friends? I think that's it. So here we go. All right. So question of the night: how do you handle the bill when going out with friends? So like I said, just going to wait a little bit, let the algorithms get warmed up a little bit, and you all can share this out. I'm not sure if my broadcast got shared out live because I had some technical issues when I first came on. Do me a favor, everybody. If you're here and you can hear me, you can see me, I look good, I sound good, I smell good. Well, you can't smell me, but just put a yes or no in the chat. Let me know. So let me see if I can share this out, and we will get rocking and rolling real quick. Let's see. Miss Edith's here. Like to share. Thank you. All right. Stephanie Jones said yes. Can see me. All right. All right. Got some comments already. Got some responses to the question. Listen, share this out with a group of friends, 2 or 3. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate it. So give me 1 second and we will begin the live show. Just want to make sure I share that out properly, since Facebook always loves to give me problems. Nope, and it did not. Oh, it shared, but it did something weird. It did something weird. So I tell you, technology, can't live with it, can't live without it. So, all right. So here I see that the live is up, but I don't have it shared out anywhere. So do me a favor. I'm not going to play around with it too much. Do me a favor. If any of you are friends of mine on Facebook, do me a favor, just share this out and tag me in it, please. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Because I can't get anything going. And I always have this problem. And guess what, y'all? I was being a good steward. I was trying to be diligent. I shared it out early. And then, again, gave me a problem. So what do you do? What do you do? All right, okay, Mr. Edith's answering the questions. Quick abstract. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Pointer fam, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, boss man, you can hear me, right? Boss man PG. Everybody can hear me. Perfect, perfect. All right, well, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. Y'all know I do not mess around when it comes to my food. I gotta get some vittles in. And so, I'm hungry. By the way, I'm wearing this dope sweatshirt. Y'all know I love my black-owned businesses. Check out Dog Culture over on Instagram. Dog Culture over on Instagram. My man Mike's over there doing great stuff. So again, check out Dog Culture over on Instagram. He made this. I've been looking for black-owned sweatshirts, sweatsuits. Not many to find, but checked out Mike over at Dog Culture, and he hooked me up. So again, do me a favor and let me know. All right, so Boss Man PG, you can't hear me. Do me a favor, go out and come right back in. Don't forget about me, though. Don't forget about me, though. Oh, What's up, Michael? So you can't hear either, huh? But all right, Miss Edith says she can hear me over on IG. That's weird. That's weird. So Miss Edith can hear me. Michael, can you hear me? Madam Touch, how are you? How are you? Can you hear me? A couple of people said they can't hear me. Well, let me know if you can hear me. I'll try to see what I can do on my end. It's not a whole lot you can do. Not a whole lot you can do, though, or that I can do. I could always stop and start, though. All right, Coach says she can't hear me. Madam Touch, can you hear me? All right, let me do this. I'm going to end it, and I will come right back over on Instagram. All right, bear with me a second, y'all. Everybody is having issues. All these platforms, they're having issues. I guess it's just Facebook stuff, right? Facebook is not acting accordingly. Tell these people, I ain't got time for all this. All right, Miss Edith says she can hear me. Hey, Samuel. Samuel can hear me. All right, so now we're going to try this again over on Instagram. So let's see. But either way, Coach, can you hear me? All right, you can hear me now. Okay, so maybe it was me. Maybe it was me. It's always something. Technology's supposed to be here. Technology's supposed to be here to help us, but man, it feels like it does nothing but hurt us. A lot of times. Sexy Mo, what's up, Sexy Mo? How you been? Sexy Mo, I gotta get you on my show one week. We can talk relationships and money. One of the topics that always gets a lot of play is who should pay the bill. Should a man stay home and let his lady work? All that stuff. All right. So tonight, Mo, if you're brand new here, you never watched before, this is our Wealthy Wednesday segment of the Finance Rebel Show. I'm Kamari Ellis. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm Kamari Ellis. We do this every week. So let me take a sip of water and we can get to the actual show. All right, so let's get to it, y'all. All right, folks, welcome to the Finance Rebel Show. This is our Wealthy Wednesday segment. Y'all know every week we do Wealthy Wednesdays, where I'm here to answer your questions live and to also talk about a topic. The whole point of the Finance Rebel Show is to help increase the financial IQ in the Black community. Now, tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about Ford versus Tesla. Again, Ford versus Tesla. I know a lot of people love Tesla. I know there's a lot of Elon Musk fanboys. I know sometimes y'all give me a little flack because I push back on Elon, but you know, it's all in good analytical pursuits, right? And when you are an investor and you're working on having your investor mindset, you have to have one that's analytical to a certain degree, right? You got to be here for the facts. You got to be here for the facts. So we always have to do our research. We always have to do our due diligence. And we always have to figure out where we can best put our money to work for us. All right. So again today, like I said, we're going to talk about Ford versus Tesla. Many of y'all saw my IG post talking about that. Got a lot of compliments on that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But a couple of things we're also going to talk about today is Elon Musk again. And the question is, can Elon Musk save world hunger? That was something else that came up. Our new producer of the show, Hayden, came up with the idea and said, we should talk about that. So we'll definitely talk about that. But before we get going, got a question. What is the question for the night? Okay. Monica says she can hear me. Great. Tonight's question, though, you're going out with a group of friends. You're going out to eat with a group of friends. How do y'all handle the bill? Now, do y'all have a group of friends who will run out on a bill and mysteriously go to the bathroom? Do y'all all split the bill evenly, no matter what anybody orders? Or do you all pay for your separate bill separately? Like, I only brought wings, so I'm only paying $10. I only brought iced tea, so I'm only paying $4. Like, how do y'all handle that? Okay. So go ahead, put that in the comment section. Tell us how y'all rock when y'all go to dinner. And we'll definitely come back to that towards the end of the show. All right. So Elon's gonna get a lot of information tonight, or a lot of airtime tonight, because Elon Musk got called out by one of the UN staff, one of the UN staff that's in charge of the World Food Bank. And he said if Elon Musk gave up $6 billion, he could potentially end world hunger. And this all happened on Twitter. Elon, in Elon fashion, clap back as normal, right? It's cliche at this point, because Elon does what Elon does. So I wanted to talk about that just a little bit. So give me a second. I want to pull that up on the screen, but sadly, there we go. All the sites want their money. So as I share this, so we can actually go through it, let's look at it real quick. By the way, if you're just now joining us, I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. Do me a favor. This show is all about uplifting and increasing the financial IQ in the Black community. Share this out with somebody. Share this out with somebody who's interested in stocks, money, business, insurance, any of it. Go ahead and share it out. But I'm pulling up on the screen right now. Elon Musk says he's willing to spend $6 billion to fight world hunger under one condition. Under one condition. Now, like I said, at the UN staff, the director of the World Food Bank said that Elon Musk, being the richest man in the world, he just got that because Tesla stock has been through the roof, right? So Elon Musk owns a whole bunch of Tesla. And he said if Elon Musk just spent $6 billion, $6 billion, we could end world hunger. Now, that's an ambitious claim. That's an audacious claim. But he put it out there. And like I said, in typical Elon fashion, he clapped back. All right. And he said he would do it. Now, I pulled up the article here on CNBC. All right. So it says Elon Musk is now worth $300 billion, folks. $300 billion. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of chicken. I don't know what y'all call it, wherever y'all from. That's a whole lot of money. All right. So CEO, SpaceX, Tesla, everybody knows that, right? Money went up by over $140 billion this year. Why? Because the stock market's been on a rise. Why? Because Tesla stock has been on the rise. Now, if y'all been rocking with me for a while, y'all know how I feel about Tesla. Good product. Not a fan of the stock, but y'all seen some of the people come after me on that because I voiced that opinion. But not going to get into too much in the weeds on that one, right? All right, so here it says, last week, David Beasley, the director of the UN's World Food Program, told CNN that it was time for the ultra wealthy to step up. So here we go again with this narrative that the ultra rich should come in and save everybody, right? That's a common theme. Now, just going off the rails just a little bit, so stay with me for a minute. If you follow history, right, I always tell y'all, if you're going to be investors, if you're going to be investment minded, you got to study history. If you go back to the Great Depression and when the stock market fell in the 1920s, I know a long, long time ago, before most of us were born, stock market crash, we had a Great Depression. Everything was messed up. But guess what they did? They demonized the rich then too. That's always a recurring theme in bad times. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so again, David Beasley said that it was time for the ultra wealthy to step up now on a one-time basis in order to help 42 million people that are literally going to die. It won't reach them. He specifically mentioned Musk and Amazon, Jeff Bezos, right? Because Elon's like number one on any given day. Bezos is number two. Some days Bezos is number one. If you don't know who Jeff Bezos is, he's the founder of Amazon. Was a CEO at one point, stepped down not too long ago. Okay. And so on Sunday, Musk replied to a tweet who pointed out that $6 billion will be just 2% of his net worth. Musk said that if the WPF, the World Food Program, could describe exactly how the donation would solve world hunger, he would sell Tesla stock right now and do it. Now, I don't believe he would do that. Just to be clear, y'all have heard me call Elon the modern day P.T. Barnum. He knows how to put on a show. He knows how to put on a show. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. And so David Eli did a fact check. He said 2% of Elon Musk's worth is $2 billion. In 2020, the UN World Bank program raised $8.4 billion. How come it didn't solve world hunger? Basically going against David Beasley's original statement that Elon Musk could save or solve world hunger with a mere $6 billion. Well, again, if that was the case, why didn't they do it? If that was the case, why didn't they do it? Why didn't they save it? Why aren't they feeding people? Is it really that simple? Now, I looked up some estimates to see exactly how much it would cost to really end world hunger. Now, for the record, I think it's, how can I say this? I think it's an absolute travesty that we have any hungry people in the world. I think that's truly sad, especially in places like the United States of America. There's enough food here. Now, to get deeper than that, not to get too political, even though we had major elections yesterday in New Jersey and in Virginia, Republicans are going to Republican and they're doing their thing. Sadly, Democrats are going to Democrat and they ain't doing much, but that's a whole other thing. But back to the point, in the United States, farmers actually get subsidies not to grow food because they grow too much. And it helps to keep prices stable, food prices, especially things like corn, sometimes tobacco. Again, y'all know I'm an enrolled agent, so many people consider me a tax expert. I don't really like labels, but I'll take it, whatever. But again, a lot of companies get these tax subsidies, and these companies aren't in need. These companies are profitable, but they still get tax subsidies. But we still have hungry people. So that really just goes to show that it's a systemic problem that one man alone can't solve, right? If we really wanted to do this, the United States and all the farmers, most farms, by the way, in the United States are corporate owned, could grow enough food, distribute it around the world, and feed everybody. Now, the question will be is how is that going to impact other food markets in terms of pricing? How is that going to impact other corporations and their money in terms of food prices? So it's not always, and again, I'm not justifying that in one shape, form, bit, or fashion, but I'm just talking about all the things that come into play. Oftentimes, most things are not black and white answers. We live in a very complex universe. And in that universe, we have a lot of hues and colors that we have to factor in. I know everybody likes to say it's the gray space. I don't like saying it's gray. I like to say it's colorful, right? And you got to be able to be creative to kind of go through it and make your way through it. But again, a lot of corporations would not like that, even though many of them are getting tax breaks. More people would be fed. More people could be productive. More people could live their best lives and fulfill their, what I call their divine purpose. But most people ain't worried about that. And I'm just being honest. Excuse me. Just being honest. Most people aren't worried about that. So it's sad. It's sad, like on multiple levels. It's sad that people think that being rich is a bad thing. Now, if you did anything untoward, criminal, illegal, hurtful to folks, then yeah, I'd say you don't deserve your riches. Many people feel that billionaires would become billionaires if they hadn't hurt somebody along the way. Okay, I get that. But I also don't believe you can put a cap on a person's worth. I don't really want to live in a society like that. There's a lot of danger in societies like that. We've seen it. We've seen it in many other societies that put in communism slash socialism. If you talk to a lot of Russian immigrants or immigrants of the former USSR, they absolutely hated it. A lot of people. There are some books that I really enjoy that many folks in my community do not like by the author by the name Ayn Rand. And it's funny, One of their books, one of her books, is called Atlas Shrugged. Some people will say it's the Republican playbook. I think the book's awesome. Great story, well written, has some real principles, but it's fiction. Some people think you should live it out day to day. I don't see it as such. Again, I see it as a great book for people who are really into digging deep into themselves and channeling their God gifts, abilities, and talents. Now, if you know Ayn Rand, she's all about individualism. She is not about the group. She doesn't care about the group. But if you go back and you look at human history far enough, right? Big on history, human beings would not survive without the group. When we were running around the plains of Africa and we had all these lions, tigers, and bears running around after us, oftentimes you need multiple people in order to stave off those attacks, right? So it gets a little hairy, right? Oftentimes when you're out hunting, if you're on the plains of the Serengeti, you need people to coordinate these attacks. So there's a time and place for group, and there's a time and place for an individual. My mentor used to say that the individual is supposed to serve the group, but the group is also supposed to serve the individual. And when that gets out of whack, everything gets goofy. He didn't say the goofy part. That's me. But that's what I believe. And so it's this one big symbiont circle, kind of like the cycle of life, right? You can't deny that. So anyway, they tried to flame Elon. Elon came back and he did his thing. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about, should one person solve everybody's problems? Should one person be the savior? Now, if you really think about this, and again, I'm not trying to go too deep, but isn't it amazing that most of the major religions teach us all to rely on one person? Where I just talked about history, well documented history, where group things, group activities, group governance tend to work better. Tend to. But some folks don't like that. Some folks do not like that. Now, again, I could go on about that for eons, and I know nobody wants to hear me talk about that forever, right? And we still got to get to questions, and we still have to talk about Ford versus Tesla, because I know that's what most of y'all are talking about. That's why most of y'all are here, right? So I put up a post talking about Ford versus Tesla, and let me see if I can pull that up. And as we're waiting, right, I've seen a lot of people have made some money off of this play. Now, I always tell y'all, do your research, do your homework, do some more research, do some more homework, study, 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 study. Nothing here is investment advice, okay? Nothing here is a buy or sell recommendation. Nothing here is telling you to do this or that. You have to do your own research. You have to do your own work. That's where the individual part comes in, tied into the issue we are talking about earlier, right? A lot of people, though, I get this often, want hot stock tips. That's not what we're here for, folks. We are here, however, to talk about the issue, to get greater understanding of the issue, so that one day you can do this on your own and you don't need a hot stock tip, right? And listen, there's nothing wrong with having help and having an additional ear, a bouncing board. And yes, people like myself deserve to be paid for those things. However, I believe that the true path to wealth lies in education. And you can't just get it out of the mud without any education. You can't get it out of the mud by just relying on somebody else's understanding of a thing. And when you look at some of the more richer people, they don't do that. Now, somebody's going to say, well, rich folks get government contracts, get tax breaks. They do. But most people, and I hate this term, most self-made folks, most millionaires are self-made. They're not trust fund babies or part of the silver spoon gang. That's just a fallacy. Most of the millionaires here are self-made. They saved their money, invested it. They saved their money, started a business. They saved their money and hit the lottery. It's very few of them. Most of the people that hit the lottery went or go bankrupt, right? So just keep that in mind, y'all. Just keep that in mind. It usually takes hard work and dedication. Not to sound like Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd's right when he says that. Hard work and dedication go a long way. But talking about Tesla, right? Like I said, I put a post up on my IG feed. If any of you all follow me on IG, go ahead over and follow the Finance Rebel. By the way, I just started a new YouTube channel, doing an experiment, and it's called The Tax Rebel. So if y'all rock with me, going over and subscribe to the Tax Rebels channel on YouTube. Okay. All right. So Tesla versus Ford. What do y'all think? Which company's better? What stock's better? So I just put a couple of things up on the screen, and I just shared these out. I'm not sure if everybody can see this here. Hopefully everybody can hear me well, understand me well, right? But I talked about this because a lot of people love Tesla and they think Tesla is like the best thing since sliced bread. But there's other investments out there. And here's a term I want all of y'all to start researching and understanding. It's two words. It's called capital allocation, which simply means where can I put my money at any given time that gives me the best return opportunity with the lowest risk. A lot of times I see people talking about investing and all they care about is the return. That is a recipe for disaster. You also have to think about what your risk is. For example, if you go to the casino and you spend all your money, or excuse me, let me back up. If you go to the casino and you take all your money and that's your bill money, what do you think the probability is that you're going to have enough money to pay your bills once you're done? I would say the probability is very, very high that all your money is going to be gone. So you might want to avoid the casino on bill week. Okay. So just kind of think about it in that construct, in that framework. That do I really want to invest my money into this thing? And I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I haven't studied it. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, right? I don't know if it's well run or not well run. A lot of y'all know I'm a big Warren Buffett fan. Warren Buffett's first rule is don't lose any money. Second rule is don't forget the first rule. Now, why are those two rules important? Because the money it takes you to replace your loss typically is double. It's typically double. So if you lose $100, goes to zero, how much money do you have to make back to get to even? You got to make $200 because you have to make the $100 back plus the other $100 that you lost. That's when you'll be even. So keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. You work hard for your money. You don't just want to squander it. You don't want to cast your pearls upon swine. I'm not trying to get biblical though. But all right, so Ford versus Tesla. I put a couple things up here on the screen. Oops, wrong button. I'm a big hip hop fan. Y'all know that. So Ford versus Tesla. So I just went and I did what I always tell y'all to do. Want to look up a company? Go to finance.yahoo.com first. And I went on finance.yahoo.com and I typed in Tesla's ticker symbol. Ticker symbol is TSLA. TSLA. And as I always tell y'all, look and see how much money they're making. What's the cash hitting for? All right. And so I pulled up the last 4 quarters and they have been profitable, right? Y'all know I give Tesla a hard time because they haven't been that profitable until the last quarter or so. Excuse me, the last year. They just turned a profit consistently. consistently. So kudos to them. They turned it around. They turned it around. But here, this graph just shows how much money they made. So in the third quarter of 2021, they approached about $14 billion in sales, right? And then when you look down here, there's a bar chart here. One's green, one's blue. The revenue bar chart is green. The earnings bar chart or the profits bar chart is blue. So the green bar chart is 14 billion bucks, a little shy of it, and the blue chart or the blue line is a little under $2 billion. So they're starting to make some money. They're starting to make some money consistently, right? Then I put up Ford. I put Fords up and look at their revenue, right? They typically do 35 billion plus. In the second quarter of 2021, they did really, really bad. Now, if you've been following along what's going on with autos and these chips, these semiconductor chips, it's a whole issue. It's a whole issue there. It's a worldwide shortage. So not only do you have to follow the company if you're going to be serious about investing, you also need to know what the company gets their materials to make their money. So sales have been a little off, but Ford announced that they'll be able to do better. And y'all know Tesla cars, everybody loves them. I've never been able to say that the Tesla product is a bad product. I've never said that. Never said that. But when we look at this here, all right, we see again earnings were down in the fourth quarter of 2020, started to come back in the first quarter of 2021. It was a bit meager, right? It was a bit small, but they still were able to get some things done. Still able to get some things done. Now, Ford has basically announced that they are going to be taking over the EV space. And what's the EV space? Electronic vehicles. And if anybody follows politics at all, you know that President Biden has been signaling that he wants the government to switch over to all EV vehicles. And guess who already uses a lot of their products in the US government? Ford. By the way, guess who's the biggest purchaser of goods and services in the world? The US government. So it's not a bad client to have. Not a bad client to have. All right. So we looked at that, then we go a step further, right? Tesla is trading at 1,173 bucks as of today. Up year to date 66.67%. Excuse me, 66.27%. Then we went on over to Ford. Ford is a mere $18.26. However, Ford's up 107%, 107.74%, almost 108%. And so if you're looking at this on the screen or listening to the sound of my voice, that's a big difference. That's over 40% different. That Ford is beating Tesla, but Tesla gets way more attention than Ford. How is this possible? How is this possible? So I want to open it up. I want to open it up for discussion. How is this possible? And what stock do you think is better? Which one do you think is better? Is Ford better? Is Tesla better? Why is Ford stock making more money than Tesla? Ford stock's only 18 bucks. Now, before we get into this, full disclosure, I own Ford, if you couldn't tell. Again, if you haven't been rocking with me for a while, I like to talk about stock positions to show the average everyday person that they too can be an investor with a little bit of money. It doesn't take a lot of money to become an investor in the stock market. It takes $1. That's right, I said it. One whole dollar. So if you can Square away some bucks. Avoid eating out for lunch. Avoid buying those super expensive sneakers. Avoid going out to eat. Maintain your budget. You too can buy stock. Now, a lot of people think you need a whole lot of money to buy stock to be an investor. Again, I just told you only need a buck, but a lot of people still believe that. I don't know why. I've been screaming it from the mountaintops. I don't know what else to do. There's a bunch of other people who are actually trying to teach and educate our community about investing. Now, y'all know I don't really rock with a lot of folks because I think a lot of people are all fly by night folks. They've been on social media for a while, got a big following, never really talked about investing, never really talked about the stock market, but all of a sudden now they're in the stock. All of a sudden now they're in the Forex. All of a sudden now they're trading options. That's cool. That's cool. But I also see a lot of people get misused and abused in a lot of their money because people were just out here to sell them something. And I think that's sad. I think that's really sad. If I see another person talk reckless and crazy about savings accounts and 401ks, I think I'm going to pull all my hair out. I swear to God, I'm going to pull all my hair out. Because I see so many people use those examples of don't put your money in a savings account because you're not getting any return. Don't put your money in a 401k because you're not getting any return or the company is making a thing. But none of these people have any kind of financial educational background, let alone any kind of financial expertise. And they don't know that you need different things for different seasons. Just like if you're cooking, right? You don't use a knife for everything. Just like if you are a carpenter or a builder, you don't use a hammer for everything. Just like in your financial toolbox, you have different things for different reasons and different seasons. So enough on that. Enough on that. So again, what do y'all think about this? Now, again, full disclosure, I own Ford. I shared it with y'all. I brought Ford in my Cash App account, about 100 shares. It's doing really, really well. Started buying around 6. Y'all saw it's around 18. Somebody do that rate of return. Now, and this isn't the brag, I'm just showing the examples. I showed how long it took me to get 100 shares. I started buying around 6. So there were some transactions I would buy $20 worth. Some transactions I would buy $50 worth. If I had a client come through and give me a tip, I might drop a whole $100. But I did that over months and then I got 100 shares. So the moral of the story is if you're starting from a low money base, a low capital base, a low asset base, you can take your pennies and dollars, start to invest, and have them build up quickly. If you stay consistent, if you consistently invest over and over and over again, versus just going out to the $5 coffee shop, just going out to the $500 sneaker store and giving your money to the retailers that want all your money. You cannot be a consumer, y'all. Or should I say you cannot be an Uber consumer, working, trying to get it from the mud and wanting to be wealthy. Doesn't work. You have to say, I don't want some of these things, right? And we're all consumers in some way, size, shape, or fashion. The key word, though, was Uber. Uber consumer, not the company, right? Are you buying things you need? Are you living beneath your means? Are you then taking that money and investing in? I showed y'all Ford. Again, not investment advice. I'm just using it as a tool or a prop just to show that everybody can do this. It's not just me or the quote unquote guys in the gray suits and the black ties and the white shirts. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it, and it doesn't take a whole lot of money. And then I'm comparing it to Tesla because everybody's red hot about Tesla. Everybody's super stoked about Tesla. Cool. Elon Musk is doing all these projects. Cool. One of the let me see if I can find this. When I put this up, the IG post that is, one of the comments was they would rather have Tesla because Elon Musk has, let's see if I can find it. It's not showing. It's not letting me pull it up. Okay. But basically, they said Elon Musk has Tesla, SpaceX, and some other things. But diversification does not necessarily mean better returns. And most times, the way diversification is marketed and sold, it's inappropriate. True wealth really comes from focus and concentration. When you're building it up, right? When you're just getting it from the mud. When you get into later stage, when you have something accumulated, diversification is for that stage of your wealth journey. And that's typically your wealth preservation / wealth transfer journey. And I've talked about that before. But again, and all full disclosure, I own those shares of Ford. But guess what else I did? I brought some Ford Leaps. People don't know what Leaps are. They're long dated options. Now, I can't take credit for this. I got to give credit to Coach Carter, my brother over there, Coach Carter. He said, yo, Kamari, these long-term leaps are cheap. They are dirt cheap, like pennies. So I saw it. He said, this is the play. And I ran it. So I brought 12-cent leaps on Ford. And I didn't even spend a whole lot of money. And again, I don't even talk about this, but I'm talking about this to make a point because I do feel options are more intermediate / advanced tools, options, and strategies. I spent 12 cents on the contracts. And if you know about options, you have to buy them in hundreds. So it's 12 cents per share, and a contract makes up 100 options. I brought like 5 contracts. Nothing crazy. I spent $60. That $60 turned into over, let's say I brought them at 12 cents, and then I wound up selling them at $1.72 per share because they were June 22nd. Excuse me, they were July. No, let me back up. They were January 22nd leaps, 22 leaps rather. So these contracts expire calls. They were January 22 calls, meaning that they expire in January of 2022 for $17. The strike price was $17. Y'all saw it earlier this week. Strike price. Y'all just saw the price of the stock is $18. So that I was able to take a little bit of money and multiply it again. So it's not always about how much money you have. It's about understanding the products and the tools and then applying for your level, using your money on your level. So again, it's really important for us. And I'm going to keep saying this, and I know y'all probably tired of me saying this, but forget about what other people are doing. Figure out what works for you. Now, well, I'm not going to say that because then I'm talking Malik's business. I don't want to talk Malik's business. But if you didn't understand it, then don't do it. But I understood it. I understood what Malik was talking about. So I was able to take advantage of it. But the only way I was able to take advantage of it is because I've dedicated my life to understanding money and finance. In some ways that I've definitely been privileged. My dad was an accountant. He didn't know nothing about the stock market, but that stoked my curiosity. So all I'm saying is if you're really interested in this thing called money, if you're really about this thing called wealth, get your education on. Get your education on. And don't lean onto another man's understanding. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't listen to wise counsel. What it does mean, though, is that we should only be getting into things that we understand. right? So if somebody's giving you advice on something that you don't understand, it's not wise counsel at that point. It's foolishness because you don't understand it. Okay. So I say all that to say again, Tesla versus Ford. Again, Tesla is in this white hot flame. Everybody's loving Tesla because Elon Musk is worshipped almost like a god. Celebrity culture is crazy, but people rock with him. And that's a big part of why Tesla is doing what it's doing. Now, again, I think the product's cool. Definitely think the stock is overpriced. Now, as you start doing your research, you start understanding what certain ratios mean. You start understanding why certain companies have cash and where they got it from. When you understand some of the tax incentives that some of the electronic vehicles had, right, and still have, not a lot of Teslas though, then you can start saying, oh, this is why they were able to make money, or this helped them to make money, right? And so again, all of those things matter, y'all. It's like one big pie, one big cake. There's different ingredients to it. And sometimes when you have too much sugar, it ruins the cake. Sometimes when you don't have enough eggs, the cake is dry. Sometimes when you have the milk, well, I'm messing it up because the eggs help with the consistency. The milk helps keep it moist. But y'all get the point, right? Y'all get the point. You need to have all the ingredients to make the perfect cake, right? You need all the right ingredients to make the perfect portfolio for you. Because again, some people might like their cake more sweet than others. Some people might make their cake more moist than others. So you might need more milk, more sugar, or more eggs. So just keep that all in mind, y'all. Just keep that all in mind. So that is the end of our presentation section. Let's open it up for some question and answers. As I said, I just started a brand new YouTube channel. It's my Tax Rebels channel. On that channel, we were talking nothing but taxes, specifically how you can leverage the tax code to create wealth for yourself. Because I know a lot of us, we love the markets. Even myself, I'm guilty of this. Talk about the money because it's sexy, it's hot, it's fascinating. But nobody really wants to talk about taxes. And when you really get down to it, the real wealth, the true wealth, is always in alignment with the tax code. So I want to start talking about that more because it makes sense. Now, again, tonight's question. You go out with a group of friends. How y'all handling the bill? Y'all splitting the bill evenly? Or are y'all going to itemize each thing and say, hey, I'm only paying for my Kool-Aid. Hey, I'm only paying for those wings. How do y'all do it? So let's get into these questions, comments, and answers here. So TB's in the building. How are you, TB? Miss Edith is here. Oh, wait a minute. What did Miss Edith just say? Okay, Miss Edith says I talked about Ford in 2019. I think it was 2020. I might have talked about in 2019. I gotta go back and look. Don Johnson is in the building. What's up, Don? Stephanie Jones is here. How are you, Stephanie? All right, Miss Edith says depends. Some split evenly, but some don't drink spare. So Miss Edith is talking about the bill. So, but how do you handle the bill, Miss Edith? Do you split evenly, drinks or not, or do you make them the non-drinkers pay? All right, Stephanie says yes. I think she's answering my question from earlier when I was trying to figure out if everybody could hear me. Again, I appreciate you all dealing with me through the technical issues, right? But we are here. All right, thank you, Ms. Edith, for liking and sharing. Again, thank you all for liking and sharing. All right, already. Hayden's in the building. He is the producer tonight, y'all. Hayden's coming along with a lot of ideas. That's my new young intern. Hayden's still in high school, so he's out here getting to it. All right, Miss Ms. Edith says, depending on who I'm out with, some pay for the meal, I pay the tip. Ladies' night, we sit down the middle. We split down the middle. Just depends. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. We got through that. Samuel, how are you? All right. Mark Daniels is here. Wichita's in the building. How are you doing? All right. Cool. Appreciate that. JT Coins is in the building. Thank you for that 99-cent super chat. Every contribution is appreciated. And listen, y'all, if y'all want to tip more, because some people today on the IG said I brought forward and I made a lot of money off of it. So you can always go ahead and send some money to my Cash App. Then the Cash App is just $ the Finance Rebel. Again, $ the Finance Rebel. All right, so let's get to the rest of these comments. Let's get to the meat. All right, Jose is in the building. How you doing, Jose? All right, Jose said, did you already go over which is better? No, not yet. That must have been early. Julio, how are you? All right, JT says, good point about groupthink. I would like to read Atlas Shrugged. I heard about it some years ago. Yes, I love Atlas Shrugged. Don't watch the movies first. Read the book. The movies don't do it any justice. But it's a cult classic. I would suggest everybody read it. But don't read it from the mindset of just reading it just to read, right? Read it from the mindset of how, oh man, how can I say this? Read it from the mindset of how we all have, again, great individual divine talents, gifts, and abilities. And then go from there. Read it from that angle. That's what I would suggest. Okay. Or the DT murder too. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Julio. Okay, the comments just skipped on me. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. Okay. JT says drop the link for the channel in the chat. Let's see. I gotta find it. Somebody do me a favor. Just Google or go on YouTube and you know what? Give me a second. Let's see if I can find it. Because I have to get to a certain number of subs before I can actually get I forget what you call it, a branded name or something like that. A brand name or something like that. There we go. All right. Somebody liked it. Somebody found it and liked it already. So I appreciate that. All right. So I found it. I put it in the chat. If you're on YouTube, it's in the link in my bio. So there we go. That wasn't that bad at all. All right. So Julio said Elon felt disrespect not being invited to that meeting. He said in the interview. Yeah, Elon's a character. Jay Phillips, how are you? Welcome. Again, if you're just joining, this is the Finance Rebel Show. I'm Kamari Ellis. This is our Wealthy Wednesday segment, right? So every Wednesday, we go live. I go live. I present a topic. Again, the show is all about increasing our financial IQ for everybody in the Black community. I present a topic, and then I answer your money questions, okay? So do me a favor, go ahead and share this out with somebody who wants to learn about money, who's really serious about learning about money. They don't just want to be spoon-fed some hot tips or something like that. All right, Ms. Edith asks, can I elaborate on leaps? So I thought I did, Ms. Edith, but I'll go over it again. Leaps are options, right? What is an option? An option is a contract to buy or sell a stock. Sometimes commodities like gold and silver, even Forex, but you can buy these contracts on various financial vehicles. And so you can buy calls, which gives you the contract that you are getting into a contract, which gives you the ability to buy a stock at a certain price by a certain time, right? So When I was talking about my strike price was $17. So I had the option to buy Ford stock for $17 by January 2022. And then you have in the money, out the money. Again, y'all know the show is for the basics, right? That's definitely more of an intermediate, advanced topic. So I don't really suggest it for everybody, right? But that's a call. You could also buy a put. A put is another option contract that gives you the option to sell a stock at a certain price. So if you believe a stock is going down or the market's going down, you can buy what's called puts. And so if the market goes, let's say I wanted to buy a put on Ford for, let's say, $14 because I believe the price is going down. So I make money after Ford goes below $14. If it falls below $14. So it can work. It can be lucrative if your trade goes your way. Doesn't always go your way. All right. All right. Top Slug Sofa King. I'm afraid to ask what that name means. All right. JT Cohen said, I'm glad you made the point about taxes. People always talk about making money, but not enough about keeping through tax incentives. Absolutely. Listen, y'all hear me talk about it. Y'all hear my homegirl, Courtney, the Ivy investor, talk about it. The tax code really is a cheat code. The United States was built by farmers and entrepreneurs. Thus, the tax code favors farmers and entrepreneurs, like literally, right? Farmers, entrepreneurs, and investors. That's where you get the best tax breaks. There's a reason why the orange monkey, the previous dude in the White House, was only paying but so much in taxes. Now, I'm not here to talk about his legality of how his tax returns were prepared that had been being audited for so long that for some reason nobody in the IRS can figure out, which I don't believe at all. But what does he have? He has a lot of real estate and he has businesses. And those things give you the most favorable tax status. Most favorable tax status. Tomorrow on the Tax Rebels show, I'm going to post a video talking just about that and how some of the things that billionaires use to exploit the tax code so they can keep money in their pocket. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. All right, Miss Edith says, no, 2019 because I was at the office. Ford discussing 2019 and I brought it from your discussion. All right, Miss Edith, you owe me some dollars. I'm joking, Miss Edith. Miss Edith actually is probably my number one supporter here, financially speaking. So thank you, Miss Edith. All right, so Stephanie says she splits the bill with friends unless they are repeat offenders with the expensive wine. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, let's give IG some love. Give me a second, y'all. We got some folks over on IG, and I just want to make sure I say what's up to them. Empress Tanika, how are you? JH Grill, how are you? Brand Savant, what's up, Ryan? How are you? All right, Sexy Mo's getting Ryan up to speed. Thank you. Lakeisha, how are you? Must Blender, how are you? Abby's MV Ben, how are you? For realist number one, how are you? Guys and investors in the building, how are you? Sade, how are you? Coach Latoya, how are you? Shani Binbai, how are you? I am so grown. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Fox. KC, how are you? D-Hop, how are you? Mark, what's up, Marco? How are you? Die Digital, Level Up 360, how are you? Jasmine, how are you? Okay, Monica's here. How are you, Monica? So Monica says, don't come out if you don't want to dine. Split the bill evenly. All right. Culinary Creations, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And SK Runner 95, how are you? And B Stew 1237, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I saw a few other people come on. I must have missed them. Comedic Knowledge, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Sexy Mo says she splits the bill evenly. Then you only ate wings. That's not coming out with us anymore. All right, I'll feel you on that. All right. Davita Price says, why? What's up, Davita? Says, why is Ford going crazy right now? Ford's going crazy right now because they're seeing that EV, that they're positioning EV is good, and that they are getting a bit more in chip shortage. Blue Gino's in the building. What's up, man? Blue Gino, I don't know if he's still here, but he's largely responsible for me doing these lives. He did a challenge with me one year. I forget how long it was. He did a 30-day challenge where he challenged me to do video. I hated video. I still hate video to a certain degree, but I've gotten used to it now. I much rather prefer radio or broadcast, this audio broadcast. But video's here. It's here to stay. But he pushed me and I did it. All right, Albert Watkins, how are you? L Tuck 29. And I think we got everybody. All right. So let's get back to the rest of these. All right, JT says, unfortunately, I watched the movie first. Yeah, go back and read the book. Go back and read the book. All right, so JT and Top Slug are talking. Man, I missed a lot of these comments. Oh, yeah, some people that get the lottery do get murdered. That's a fact. It feels like, though, people ain't making 50 cents and still are getting murdered, but such is life. Sadly. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'll be on a little bit longer, but y'all know I got to get to my vittles. Okay, Monica's shared on both platforms. Thank you, Monica. Ms. Edith says, "Oh, you were too kind. I learned so much from you. So have my colleagues. Great. Listen, that's what it's all about. That's what I'm here for, right? I want to share my experiences. It's funny. I was watching this Tyler Perry clip. I forget where it was, but he said, "When you learn, you teach." That's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole purpose of the Finance Rebel Show. That's the whole purpose of the Tax Rebel Show. What I'm learning, I'm looking to teach and help. Who want to be helped? And I know I can't help everybody, right? But whoever wants to be helped, I'll definitely help as much as possible. So we talked about Elon saving the world, feeding all the food, and how that's kind of unfair. We talked about Atlas Shrugged, great book. I would suggest it. I would also suggest, oh man, she has another book, Fountainhead. I thought was a good read as well. So JC, when you get a chance, check those out. They're very long, like real long. So if you can get them on Audible, which I believe they are, if you like listening to audiobooks, that might be the way to go. Teach everyone about money. How are you? Welcome. That's a dope name. I like that. Teach everyone about money. So yeah, it's a dope book. If you like listening to Audible books or audiobooks, that might be the route to go. I kind of listen to audiobooks and I'll read the book too, because some books are not good in audio. Some books are great. So it all depends. Like I like some of TD Jakes stuff, but he doesn't narrate his own books. So I can't listen to a TD Jakes book being narrated by somebody else. It just doesn't work for me. All right, JT says, can you do a video or direct me to one of videos on a checklist on what to look for in picking a stock? Yes, I can do that. I can do that. It's funny. I have an old investing course that I took down that I might put back up, and I might just add that to that list. I might just add that to that list. But I will definitely do that, JT. Definitely do that. And you always support, so you know I got you. Appreciate you. So, any other comments, questions, thoughts, concerns? Again, I'm Kamari Ellis. You're watching the Finance Rebel Show, and this is our Wealthy Wednesday edition, where I answer your questions live. So, any other questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns? Throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat. Let's see here. All right, and as I said, I was asking you all to go and check out my new YouTube page, The Tax Rebels. So I'll just pull it up. There's only one video up there. I'm about to get busy on there, so you all can check it out. So again, I wanted to create something just for tax, because on the Finance Rebel Show we talk about everything, but I wanted to create something specifically just for tax. And guess what? It's gonna be very similar, but it'll be all tax topics. All right, folks. So listen, if nobody else has any more questions, I want to bid you all adieu. Again, thank you all for being here. Always super humbled that you tune in every week at 8. Guess what? I'll be back here next week at 8. Wealthy Wednesdays next week at 8. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, go ahead and text them to me. All right. Text them over to 215-974-0058. Again, 215-974-0058. All right. I haven't been getting back to a lot of my texts. I got to go back through and do some of those. Maybe I'll do that tonight. But again, you can always catch me there, and we can do some things. How do I put my Cash App ticket on StreamYard? You have to do a branded slide. So since you want to know, right, let's talk about it. Thank you, Ms. Edith, for sending me a Cash App. I appreciate you. I guess that helps to make up some of that for profit you made since I gave you that play. Again, nothing here is for entertainment, educational purposes. Why did I just buy for that? Again, nothing here is investment advice. All right, nothing here is investment advice. Everything here is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Michael Sean, what's up, brother? I am Possible Bell. How are you? Welcome. But yeah, you just have to do a slide or a frame, and so I put the Cash App on there. I forget, somebody basically made me do it because for a long time I never told anybody what my Cash App was, because I'm gonna be here whether you give me money or not. Now, if you feel I do a good service, I'll take it, because I got kids to feed. I got college coming up, and I got some more equipment I want to buy, y'all. So at some point, I want to have my own studio. At some point, I want to have my own professional studio. All right. So again, the Cash App is $ the Finance Rebel. $ the Finance Rebel. You can send me a Cash App. No amount's too small, no amount's too big. I'll take it all, and I'm always grateful. So thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm out of here, y'all. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you next time. Later.